They're all around me, circling like vultures. They wanna break me and wash away my colors. Wash away my colors. Take me higher, I'll sing of you. Make everything okay, 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 okay. We are one and the same. Oh, you take all of the pain away, 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 away. Save me if I become my demons.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the final episode of HCCW before Blood Sacrifice. We have a jam-packed evening of action to get through here tonight, so ladies and gentlemen, let's crack on and get straight in to your match card for this evening. The first matchup of the evening, after weeks and weeks of anticipation and build-up, Jasmine Oka and Alina go head-to-head for the number one contendership. And DJ Destro returns here tonight for the first time since losing to Rob Wallace for the HCCW Chosen Championship. Then, the first quarter-final matchup as Trey Deathrow takes on your saviour, Scott Stevens. And an electrifying debut for you on HCCW here. FaZe makes his first appearance in HCCW. Then we have the number one contenders match for the Tag Team Championships as Crazy Clown Club take on Brent 2 Fly. Then another incredible matchup in the HCCW World Heavyweight Championship Tournament quarterfinals as Golden Standard Jay Golden takes on Shane Vector. Then in your main event, the next superstar Pete Miller takes on Luther Rose to see who advances as the last man into the semi-finals at Blood Sacrifice. But it looks as though TJ Starr in the Velocity division has something to say as he makes his way out here now. TJ Starr had a very impressive win last week over Starlight, and it looks like he wants to address that potential championship match in the future with champion Creed Williams here tonight. And as I thought, TJ here to talk about the championship. And it looks as though TJ Starr is calling out the champion at Blood Sacrifice. And unexpectedly, Deacon is the man to answer TJ Starr's call. We haven't seen Deacon since week 1 when he lost to now champion Creed Williams. Deacon believing he should be the one to take the title from Creed. strong statement from TJ, but the champ is coming out to address this himself. Creed Williams laying out the options for his challengers here. Oh my god, Creed Williams wants both at the same time. Deacon doesn't seem so confident. Oh my god, holy shit, the champion wants a triple threat ladder match. And it looks as though it's going to be made official. We are getting word here now. It's going to be Deacon against TJ Starr against the champ Creed Williams at Blood Sacrifice in a triple threat ladder match. After that, a massive announcement in the Velocity division, we move straight in to a huge match in the Eclipse division.
This bout is scheduled for one fall, and it is a #1 contenders match for the Eclipse Championship. Introducing first, hailing from Greenwich, Connecticut, the Rock Princess, Alina.
The gauntlet was thrown down by Jasmine Oka. The challenge, Alina, win your match last week and I will face you for the #1 contendership. Alina obliged, she won her match, and here we are, #1 contendership time.
And introducing her opponent, hailing from wherever she wants, Little Miss Crazy, Jasmine Oka.
Jasmine has dreamt of being a champion since she got into wrestling at an early age. It's all she wants, and she believes that she's the woman to beat champion Ayana for that belt. She is desperate to face her at Blood Sacrifice, hence why she challenged Alina to this match. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, the Rock Princess versus Little Miss Crazy, #1 contenders match. Early kick to the abdomen from Alina, now a tie-up. Both these women surprisingly going to chain wrestling early on in this one. Go behind from Alina, she has control of the waist of Jasmine Oka, scoops her up into the headlock, down to the ground, and a punch to the forehead sees them break. Now Jasmine pushing Alina into the corner, just holding her in there. Referee going in for the break, but a cheeky shot to the cheek from Jasmine Oka, and now she puts Alina down to one knee and goes in with that head scissor plant. Alina head first into the mat. Jasmine tries to follow up with a knee, however misses, and then a crucifix from Alina, putting Jasmine down to the mat. Alina now in some control. The drop down arm drag, followed by a massive German suplex to put Jasmine down to the mat, slamming the arms of Jasmine now. Keeping in control of this match is Alina. using that neck wrench just to do some damage to the neck and head of Jasmine. Into the cover early on, but not even a 1 count on this one. Once again, Alina targeting the head and neck of Jasmine, and now she is getting fired up. But Jasmine off of the ground, jumping head scissors, and then following it up with a massive Frankensteiner. Jasmine starting to roll, headbutt to Alina, puts her down to the mat, and now Jasmine talking to Alina. This is a furious match early on. German suplex from Jasmine now to show she has that in her locker as well. However, Alina fires her off into the corner and hits that huge running European uppercut. Another arm slam to the mat, and again targeting the head, just slamming the head of Jasmine Oka into the mat. And now Alina hooking up this submission that we saw her use last week to great effect. Is she going to be able to tap out Jasmine Oka? No, she isn't. Jasmine manages to counter out. Jasmine now with her own primal scream, picking Alina up, backhand to the chest, chop to the head, and then a massive chop following the rebound off the rope with all that momentum. Jasmine trying to take control, punch to the face, that patented backstabber, the signature move of Jasmine Oka. She is taking control in this one. What is she looking for here? She gets her up, looks like she's going to go for a crucifix bomb here. Is she going to hit it? No, Alina manages to arm drag out. Great move from Alina to roll around the corner. Now in control, Jasmine draping across the top rope, and she's just going to whip that rope into the head and neck of Jasmine. Now Alina with that huge strike combination that she uses to great effect so often. Now she's lining up Jasmine. What is she going to do? She looks for the Alina house, but is countered by Jasmine. Forearm shot to the face, and another backstabber from Jasmine Oka. She's going to go into the cover here, but Alina gets her shoulder up at two backstabbers already from Jasmine Oka in this match, and now she's choking the life out of Alina on the mat. We've seen her do this before, and we've seen her do this as well before, taking that top turnbuckle off. However, the referee does restore it, firing Alina into the ropes, and we know what she could go for here, but Alina manages to counter over, putting Jasmine Oka to the outside, now dragging her through that middle rope. Oh no, she's got a draped neck breaker off the middle rope from Alina. Alina now retaking control, inverted DDT partner down, followed with that primal scream from Alina that she loves to do. Another European uppercut into the corner. She is in full control. Another strike combination puts Jasmine Oka down to the mat, but Alina doesn't look done there. She is lining up, and this time she hits the Alina house. This match could already be over. Into the cover. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, I was almost 100% certain that that was a 3, but at the very last second, Jasmine gets her shoulder off of the mat. But look at this, Jasmine rolling up Alina into the 2, but Alina at the last second manages to fire out. Spinning back kick to the abdomen. Jasmine now putting Alina outside of the ring, and she looks like she may be looking for a dive here. She is. Tope Suicida over the top rope. Now Jasmine putting Alina back inside. She is going up top. What is she going to look for here? She could go for the final joke, but she doesn't. Just an elbow drop, sticking it to Alina. She's in control of her now though. Backhand chop. She hits the ropes, off into that spin round. Head scissors. Beautiful. Jasmine in good control here. Kick to the back of Alina. She is controlling this match. She goes for that split-legged arm drag that she loves to do so much into the cover. But once again, Alina manages to kick out at 2. Jasmine heading to the top once again. Could this time be the final joke? No, she goes for another elbow, but Alina manages to roll out of the way this time. Now controlling Jasmine. Where is she going to take her? Thrown off into that corner. Probably another European uppercut, but no. The back elbow from Jasmine Oka stops her on the track. kick to the knee, and we're going to see her go for that head scissor plant once again. The head of Alina into the mat. Another massive combination here, chop combination from Jasmine. She is rolling, she's got full momentum on her side and choking Alina once again. However, Alina managed to get back up, but Jasmine quickly with the running Hurricane Rana puts Alina down to the match. Jasmine is feeling this one, she's stunned her against the rope, and it looks like we are going to see the crack up! She hits it! This match is over! We have a new #1 contender! Oh my god, Alina with the shoulder off of the mat at 2, following the crack up. I cannot believe what I've just seen. Another running Hurricane Rana from Jasmine Oka as she talks to Alina. However, Alina countering back out, trying to go for the Alina House again that looked there. As Jasmine gets in control of the arm, but it's a big shot to the face from Alina. She hits the sling blade into the cover. And Jasmine just rolling a shoulder off the mat. What a match this has been so far between these two women. Now, Alina hooking her up for a pump handle, suplex of sorts, maybe more of a fall away slam you could say, and then slamming that arm to the mat again. Another primal scream into the cover. Just a 1 count on this one. Alina being very smart here, constantly covering Jasmine Oka, constantly making her use that energy to kick out of these covers. Alina now with Jasmine on her shoulders. She's going to pick her up and drop her across that top rope neck first, and then she's going to target the leg with the leg snap on Jasmine Oka. Alina now looking for a kill switch, but no, she switches it into a bulldog, planting Jasmine down to the mat. Alina has taken full control of this match right now, ladies and gentlemen. She is rolling in this one. Jasmine into the corner. Alina with the head. What is she looking for here? It's going to be a tornado DDT from the corner. Alina following it up with a snap suplex. She is dominating this match right now. Huge strike combination. Puts Jasmine down to the mat. That looked so painful from Alina. She goes for the scoop slam, but Jasmine manages to scoot out the back. She now has that arm. She's going to try and wear Alina down because Alina has been rolling, but shots to the abdomen from Alina going to fold Oka. Alina with a huge power slam as well to follow that one up. Jasmine though somehow managed to get back to her feet, but she is getting hit with back-to-back strikes. Alina tries to hook her up. She pushes her off, and a massive running forearm stops Alina in her tracks. Jasmine into the corner. Alina managed to scoot out. Jasmine counters back though. Alina goes for the arm, but it's a massive shot from Jasmine to stop her once again. That knife edge chop, and then she's going to hit her with a third backstabber. Alina's back must be in so much pain. Going to the top, she must be looking for the final Joe by a kip up from Alina. Jasmine still goes for something. Oh my god, that is a crash and burn from these women. As you can see, they are both spent. But Alina back to her feet, hits a rebound dropkick on Jasmine, then plants her down with that inverted DDT, going for the cover. Alina now just doing whatever it takes to try and get this pin. However, Jasmine fires Alina off into the corner. This time does hook her up and plants her face first into the turnbuckle with those legs. Now she has her up onto the shoulder and then dropping her across the top rope. Schoolboy, but she rolls it over into a kick to the side of the head, and now she's going up top again. We have seen Jasmine go up top so often. Alina sat. Oh my god, a compacting elbow drop from the top rope from Jasmine Oka as she puts Alina into a submission of her own, trying to tap her out. However, Alina scoots out that one quickly. Jasmine turning around, atomic drop, but she's not going to stop there. She's going to go for another one, and not even 2 is enough. She's going to go for 3. Targeting the lower area of Alina's body as she dropped her with that neck breaker across the knee. She's gone back to the top once again. What's she looking for this time? She's calling her to her feet this time. Jasmine Oka has been living on this top rope, and it is a top rope Hurricane Rana. My God, what a move! Now Jasmine Oka goes across to the other corner. She has Alina down in the middle. She's going to go for the final joke, and she's going to hit it into the cover. And Jasmine Oka will be the woman facing Ayana for the Eclipse Championship at Blood Sacrifice, following an incredible matchup from these two women. As you can see, Alina early on had Jasmine Oka in trouble with an early submission following a dominant spell. However, Jasmine, these two women are so resilient. Neither of them were willing to give up. Neither of them wanted to back down. However, Jasmine would take control in this match following a backstabber here. You would see Jasmine follow it up with some more offense. She would try and go for a crucifix bomb here, picking Alina up high, but Alina has the wherewithal to break the grip and manage to get out with the arm drag. Then taking control of Jasmine and slowing down the pace. That was something that I found very interesting throughout this match. Alina looked to slow down Jasmine Oka. As you see her hit her first strike combination here, she would go for the Aline House the first time. However, Jasmine would fire back to the forearm, stunning her and then hitting another backstabber. Into the cover she would go. However, it would only be a 2 count on this one. Alina spent a lot of this match trying to stop the high flying and high velocity impact that Jasmine Oka outputs. It was so impressive, but you would see the strike combination here followed by the Aline House. She would put her down and it looked as though the match was over. However, Jasmine Oka at the very last second manages to roll the shoulder off of the mat to save herself in this match, then almost catching Alina unawares with the roll up, but Alina would manage to kick out, and then this huge suicide tope suicida dive to the outside on Alina would show that Jasmine is indeed Little Miss Crazy. She is willing to put anything on the line to win this match. She would then hit the crack up. Following that, it looked as though that may be the nail in the coffin. However, Alina, with all that resilience, manages to kick out at 2 following the crack up. Jasmine Oka could not believe it, and then Alina would start to fire back in this one, trying to go for an Aline House straight away. Jasmine Oka countering back, but Alina countering her counters, and then Alina hitting the sling blade to put down Jasmine Oka, going for the cover, trying to get a quick win. However, Jasmine Oka did still have the wherewithal to manage to kick out of that one as well. This was such a great match, a match worthy of the number 1 contendership, as we would see the crash and burn here. Alina kipping up, but Jasmine going for that knee strike. However, she did not land well. It would put both women down to the mat for a while. Alina would then start trying to take control, just desperately trying to get any pin that she could. Following the inverted DDT, we would then see the schoolboy roll through kick to the side of the head. Jasmine Oka then jumping up to the top rope and hitting this compacting elbow drop. As Alina was in that seated position, she would smash her onto the mat and then go for that painful submission. However, Alina would manage to scoot out of the side of that one. Then Jasmine back to the top rope once again, utilising the top rope a lot, would hit that top rope Hurricane Rana, putting her down to the mat, which she would then go from corner to corner, and she would hit the final joke on Alina and get the 3 count. She will be facing Ayana at Blood Sacrifice.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's your winner and new number 1 contender for the Eclipse Championship, Little Miss Crazy, Jasmine Oka.
Jasmine Oka will face Ayana at Blood Sacrifice, but now it's time to hear from the original himself, DJ Destro. Huge challenge laid out here, and it looks like Desmond is ready to respond. Desmond climbing up onto the ring apron here, and it looks like he's just going to look into the eyes of his potential opponent here tonight. Oh my God, Desmond accepts, and we're going to have ourselves a match here, ladies and gentlemen. An impromptu match here. We have Desmond taking on DJ Destro, and Desmond has agreed to put his spot in the HCCW Chosen Championship match against Rob Wallace on the line here tonight against the original. DJ Destro making it clear that he is nowhere near finished with Rob Wallace and the Chosen Championship, and now he looks to earn that pay-per-view spot. As we can see right now, a power matchup between these two men. Destro with Desmond up into the shoulders, but Desmond managed to scoot out the back and plant Destro down to the mat, and following that up with a massive backbreaker across the knee, huge uppercut to the face, just scooting away from that grapple attempt. Another hard whip off into the corner, and he's going to follow that up with a side slam, and look at him just sitting and looking at his opponent. Desmond is one of those competitors that we have that is so well known for his dominating pressuring style. He puts so much pressure on his opponents and sees if he can break them. But as I say that, Destro is managing to fight back, and here managed to get into a cover early on, but it's only a 1 count. Destro now trying to take control of this match. Couple strikes from Destro, however it's not enough to keep Desmond down for long, as he hits that arm wrench shoulder block to put him Destro down to the mat, and now following those up with kicks to the hamstring, pump handle, planting Destro down to the mat, and following it up with a massive leg drop across the neck. Now screwing around the back and hitting him with that side slam into the cover. Ooh, a close one there from Desmond. Desmond now getting Destro up onto the shoulders, and it looks like he's going to hit the lone wolf into the cover. But unbelievably, Destro manages to roll a shoulder off of the mat and save himself in this match. Now managing to counter back with that backdrop onto Desmond. Destro needs to get some offense rolling, and as I say that, he hits that huge spine buster that he loves to use so much, and it looks like now he is going to look for a finisher of his own, and he is going to hook up Destruction. Oh my God, this could be a quick swing, could be over, but at the last second once again, Desmond this time managing to kick out Destro trying to finish this match off. That is unbelievable from these two men. Now Desmond stunning Destro against the ropes. However, he is countered and dumped out to the outside, and Destro is just showing off now, showing that he feels he is the superior competitor between the two, egging Desmond to get back into the ring, which he does. Whips him off into the corner, but then he misses. Desmond gets Destro up and just sandwiches him in that corner and then just tosses him across the ring. Desmond now trying to pick up Destro, but Destro using that weight advantage that he has over Desmond and countering back. Huge shot to the face, sets Desmond down to one knee. Destro in control, and once again he's just going to dump Desmond outside of the ring, but this time he is going to follow him, and it looks like he wants to get some offense in on the outside, trying to go for that gorilla slam, but it's countered, and Desmond plants Destro head first on the bottom part of that ramp. Destro is in trouble, and now Desmond copying exactly what Destro just did to him and egging him on to get back into the ring, which Destro manages to get back to his feet, and then as soon as he gets back in, he does hit that gorilla press slam, and now deadlifting Desmond off of the mat and slamming him down. Destro now is rolling, huge clothesline to put Desmond down, ducks one, backdrop from Destro. We've seen him do this before in his last two matches, and this time he plants Desmond down with a spine buster, and now he's going to look for it once again, the second time, and he's going to hit it, destruction into the cover. Oh my god, Desmond, what is this man made of? Somehow he manages to kick out of a second destruction. Destro now to the top rope, not somewhere we often see him, but he hits a huge splash, compacting the chest of Desmond. Now Destro is in full control of this match. Knee slam to Desmond just to follow up into the cover. But once again, Desmond manages to get his shoulders off the mat at 2. Destro not slowing down on this one. Snap suplex to keep Desmond on the mat. Up onto the shoulders, and then just that Argentinian backbreaker across the shoulders. Picking him up, full Nelson slam as well. Destro is rolling here into the cover. But unbelievably, Desmond, after all of that offense, kicks out at 1. Destro now showing off that incredible power that he has, deadlifting Desmond up onto the shoulder and then hitting that running power slam. Destro once again going to the top rope, like I say, not somewhere we often see him go for that splash, but this time Desmond gets the knees up, he stops Destro and then he hits him with that side slam to follow up the damage to the abdomen of Destro. Destro now trying to take control into the side headlock. Gets bounced off the ropes, whipped off, dropped down by Desmond, and then a huge backdrop by Desmond as well. Desmond now trying to fire up this crowd. We don't usually see this much emotion from him, but he is feeling it. However, he's countered backdrop. However, he then counters the kick to the chest and hits a dragon screw on the leg. Desmond now fully in control of this matchup. Hard whip off into the corner. Puts Destro down to the mat, but he's not going to stop there. He hits his own full Nelson slam on to Destro. Desmond is rolling, but he's feeling the effects of those 2 destructions that he took into the cover, but not even a 1 count. Destro still showing he's got plenty of life in him. However, a kick to the lower back may stop that. I spoke too soon. He counters with the European uppercut. However, Desmond then scoots out of the side, and it's a huge clothesline to send Destro down to the floor. Desmond then slitting the neck, saying that he is about to end this match. Looks like he's going to go for some offense himself on the outside of the ring here, slamming the head of Destro off the top of those steel stairs. Referees at a 3 count. Desmond puts Destro back into the ring, and he's going to follow him in. Will this be the cover? No, it's more damage. Knee to the back this time, and now he goes into the cover. Will this be it? But only a 1 count once again from Destro. He is not willing to give up, but A plant DDT, a running plant DDT may just about stop him. Now Desmond, huge chop to the top of the head of Destro, whipping him off into the corner once again, going for that close down to the back. That's a back elbow to counter out, but a shot to the stomach to stop Destro in his tracks, and then put him down with a huge shot, forearm shot to the face, up onto the shoulders. What is he looking for here? It's going to be Lone Wolf once again. He's into the cover. Will this be it? And it will be. Desmond will retain his spot at Blood Sacrifice in the HCCW Chosen Championship match against Rob Wallace. What a match from these two men, back and forth between the two of them. Great show of strength from Destro, great show of heart and determination and pressure from Desmond, and eventually the pressure does tell as Desmond is the man who walks away with the victory. As you can see early on here, hitting that signature Uranga slam where he scoots behind and picks his opponent up and hits it on the way down. However, Destro would kick out, and then Desmond will follow it up with the first Lone Wolf. However, it would not be enough. Destro at the last second scooting the shoulder off the mat, but he would counter back with this backdrop, and he would quickly follow it up with more offense. His signature spine on the pine spine buster to put Desmond down, and then he would look for the first of two destructions. He would hook Desmond up and look to have this match dead to rights. However, Desmond showing all that heart that he has, rolling his shoulder off the mat as the referee's hand was coming down for 3. Destro would start to feel it. He would take control in this match, but Desmond would not let that deter him. Desmond would keep fighting in this match. He would keep using that pressure that he knows so well, even after this huge shot here from Destro, and then Destro sending him to the outside. But as we would see, Destro would go for the power move, for the gorilla press slam. However, Desmond with the wherewithal to counter and DDT Destro on that hard outside. However, Destro would get back into the ring, get back into the match, and he would hook up another destruction, and that looked to be the nail in the coffin of Desmond's title hopes. However, it would not be enough. Desmond rolling the shoulder off the mat. Destro would then go all out, go deep into his bag, and he would go to the top rope to hit one of 2 massive splashes, compacting the chest and the ribs of Desmond into the mat, and he would continue his offense, trying to go for another cover, trying to wrap this one up. He wanted this match done, but Desmond would not let this match go, and as you can see here, after all of the damage that he took, it wasn't enough to keep him down. Destro would definitely go back to the top again, and he would be met with a double knees, and then he would be met with the pressure, relentless pressure of Desmond. After a lot of damage, countering back, hooking up the Lone Wolf once again, Desmond would walk away as your victor and will meet Rob Wallace at Blood Sacrifice.
Here's your winner, the Lone Wolf, Desmond.
Wait a second, what the hell is this? That's Rob Wallace. Rob Wallace making his way down to the ring now after Desmond's win. He's into the ring and he's attacking Desmond. He hooks him up for that huge Michinoku driver. He puts Desmond down to the mat, and he's going to follow that up with the Pride of Scotland DDT. Rob Wallace attacking his opponent before this weekend's pay-per-view. But Destro coming for the save as Rob Wallace rolled out to get a chair. He was going to try and end the career. However, Destro hits a huge shoulder tackle, puts Rob Wallace out of the ring, and Rob Wallace wants nothing to do with Destro. I'm more than sure that the story between these two is far, far from over. And as Rob Wallace walks away, Destro showing respect to the man who beat him tonight. Desmond giving Desmond his moment. Desmond will face Rob Wallace at Blood Sacrifice. Two challengers have been locked in for Blood Sacrifice, and now we move on to see who will compete in the semi-finals of the HCCW World Heavyweight Championship tournament.
Scheduled for one fall is a quarter-final matchup in the HCCW World Heavyweight Championship tournament. Introducing first, hailing from Knoxville, Tennessee, he is your savior, Scott Stevens.
Scott had a super competitive match up against Taka Hatake last week, but now he has a completely different challenge in the form of Trey Deathrow. A classic speed against power matchup. We'll have to see how Scott finds his way around this one.
Introducing his opponent, hailing from London, England, Trey Deathrow.
There were whispers that people thought Trey was lucky to make it past horror. However, make it past horror, he did. Whispers were all that people were confident enough to muster up as the powerhouse looks to join his brother in the semi-finals at Blood Sacrifice. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, quarter-final matchup. An interesting one considering both of these men don't necessarily have the support of the crowd. As you can hear, the crowd starting off booing and Trey Deathrow starting off with a giant clothesline straight to the neck of Scott Stevens. Now following up with another strike and going for a power move, but Scott Stevens plants that knee to the top of the head of Trey. You can hear this crowd is not a fan of either man in this match right now, which should be a very interesting dynamic since neither man will be using the crowd to build momentum. Scott Stevens, back chop in the corner and then drop kick to the side of the face. He is using his speed to great success at the beginning of this one. Short forearm shots now, back chop, puts Trey against the rope. Scott Stevens looks like he's going to look for a tope over the top rope, and you can hear the crowd appreciate that one. Could this see Scott Stevens gain the favour of the crowd, cheering as he taunts Trey Deathrow as well back into the ring? Strike combination. The crowd are fully behind Scott Stevens as he tries to go for that clothesline. However, Trey Deathrow eats it. Trey tries to fire back with his own clothesline, but gets snapped there down to the mat. And now Scott Stevens using that mat wrestling, that technical ability that he does have. You could say that would be one of the advantages that he has over Trey in this matchup, is the technical aspect of his game, and he is fully in control early on in this one. However, as I say that, Trey manages to get back to a vertical base and a huge swinging shot to the midsection and straight up to the shoulder, and dropping in from the military press across the knee cover. But Scott Stevens manages to make it only a 1 count. Trey Deathrow now using that power to get back into control, whipping off Scott Stevens and a clothesline to the back, trying to continue the damage on the back. But Scott Stevens slides out the back and hits a backstabber on the big man to put him down to the mat. You can see the crowd still don't fully know how they feel about Scott Stevens as he tries to pick up Trey Deathrow, but he gets sat down. Trey now using that speed that he has, scooting behind and dropping Scott Stevens across the knee once again, now muscling him up, and Trey is just going to show off. Oh my god, he is squatting Scott Stevens. If that's not a sign of disrespect while he's doing the vertical, I don't know what is, but that is Scott Stevens' signature, the knee on the back of the neck breaker. He stole Scott Stevens' signature, dropping a fist to the face, now going for the cover. Can you imagine the level of disrespect to beat your opponent with his own move? Now another military press slam, dropping him down to the mat on his back. Scott Stevens is in trouble as the big power man is in full control, getting Scott Stevens up once again in the pressing, but no, Scott Stevens scoots out the back, shot to the back twice, 3 times, and then a shot to the side, elbow to the face. Scott Stevens in control, he folds over Trey Deathrow, a kick to the stomach and a drop kick to the side of the face. The crowd are in Scott Stevens' favour. This is crazy. I've never seen a crowd swing from hating someone so much to supporting them. Scott Stevens now firing away on the leg, throws over and plants Trey with a huge DDT, going for the cover. But only a 1 count, the big man kicks out. Trey though, back to his feet, whips off Scott into the corner, massive body splash compacting Scott against those turnbuckles. Scott back to his feet, but Trey gets him back up. He's just holding him, and then he just flings him with the full away slam into the ropes. His legs get all kinds of tangled up, going for the cover, but not even a 1 count. A resilient kick out as Scott Stevens tries to counter with the drop kick. Trey Deathrow goes for the kick to the stomach, but Scott Stevens takes him down, and now he is locked in a knee bar. He's going to try and tap the big man out, but Trey Deathrow with a huge kick to get him away. Now Scott Stevens uses his own signature to put Trey down to the mat, and now he is looking to show that he is the saviour, showing how divine he truly is. He hops out to the outside, looks like he might be going for that elbow drop that he loves to use. However, Trey's back to his feet and manages to move out the way. Trey with a kick to the chest, now some massive strikes to sit Scott Stevens down, hooks him up and hits him with that inverted suplex. Now in control of the leg, drops Scott Stevens down, and he's going to go for a single leg Boston Crab on Scott, and now he's going to try and tap Scott out. Scott hanging on to this one, manages to roll back out and use that leg strength to push Trey Deathrow down to the mat. However, Trey fires back, Scott fires back again, tries to go for the forearm, but Trey slips out to the side and then hits a huge running forearm shot and an elbow drop to the chest for good measure, as he hooks him up for that massive spine buster that he uses to such great effect. Now what? Oh my god, getting Scott Stevens deadlift him off the mat into the power bomb, and now Trey Deathrow is going to follow that up with his own faith breaker power bombs. Oh my god, 1, two, and now the third to truly break the face into the cover. And it will be Trey Deathrow advancing to the semi-finals at Blood Sacrifice, our first man to advance out of the quarters. He will join his brother in the semi-finals. What a great classic matchup. Power man against speed. And Scott Stevens early on in the match looked like he may have had what it takes to match Dre. As you see here, he got out of the suplex to the knee to the top of the head, whipped Dre off into the corner, then dropped him down face first with the flatliner. And you can see here Scott Stevens effectively using his strikes to stun Trey Deathrow. He would throw him out of the ring, hit the ropes, and hit a massive tope onto the big man outside to put him down to the floor. He was fully in control, but Trey would manage to use that power to his advantage to take back control of the match, and then just showing off the strength here. Two squats on Scott Stevens as he had him in the air, then dropping him down to the mat. Then a huge military press slam, putting Scott on his back once again. Elbow strike to follow that up. He would try and go for the vertical once again, but Scott Stevens managing to use that wherewithal to sneak out the back, and the strikes would come back in once again, just enough to stun Trey so he could double him over and hit that drop kick to the side of the face, effectively using the speed like I said he would need to do at the beginning of this match. He would use the strike to the hamstring to try and slow the big man down. It would work into a flow over DDT, and Scott would look for the pin. However, it would not be enough just yet to keep the big man down. As you can see here, Scott Stevens managing to hit his own signature, dropping Trey Deathrow's neck across that knee. He would spend a little bit too much time in the corner taunting Trey. He would try and go to the top to hit that elbow drop. However, Trey would manage to get to his feet and then counter out and blast Scott with a massive kick to the face. He would follow it up with the huge spine buster, and then following that up with an even bigger deadlift power bomb down to the mat, and then it was academic. The faith breaker power bombs were to follow, and after your faith is broken, it doesn't matter whose savior you are, you do not stand back up from the faith breaker. Once your faith is broken, it would be a 1, 2, 3, and it would be Trey Deathrow marching into the semi-finals.
Here is your winner and advancing to the semi-finals, Trey Deathrow.
Trey Deathrow joins his brother Dre in the semi-finals this Sunday. 2 more matches tonight decide who will be the last 2 to join them. But now we meet one of the most electrifying competitors in HCCW. Well, let's see what FaZe has to say. laying down the gauntlet to the champ. And laying down the gauntlet right now. And we're gonna have another debut here on HCCW. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Signor Fantastico Roberto Aldo. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have an impromptu match here. FaZe laying down the gauntlet, calling out anybody for a match in the Velocity division as he sets his sights on Creed Williams, and Signor Fantastico Roberto Aldo is the man to answer. And as you can see, FaZe here is starting off with some absolutely furious high velocity impact action right now, and he is trying to rip the hamstring of Roberto Aldo. However, Aldo is out and manages to hit a running drop kick to the face of FaZe. Signor Fantastico trying to take control in this one, and now he is going to target the legs of FaZe to try and close the fast electrifying FaZe down into a cover, but only a 1 count to come from that one. Signor Fantastico trying to take some control. Massive clothesline, planting FaZe onto the mat, and now just a stomp to the side of the face of FaZe. The electrifying one himself is in trouble. Another stomp to the side of the face, just following up, and another one to the side of the face again, showing that kind of disrespect. Spinning heel kick to the back of the stomach, and a one-legged drop kick once again. Signor Fantastico out of nowhere has completely swung the momentum of this match, and now he's looking to try and tap out FaZe. FaZe though managing to scoot out the side, back to his feet, and hitting a massive running clothesline, swinging things back into his favour. Now hooking up the snap suplex, planting Roberto Aldo back first onto the mat, now hitting the rope. Oh, FaZe showing off that swag, going for the leg drop across the neck and chest of Roberto Aldo. FaZe now managing to take back control of this match, and now wrenching on the back and shoulders of Aldo. Aldo though, back to a vertical base, elbow to the stomach, now hooking up FaZe, whipping him off into that corner, and he's going to hit the step up into Guri. Did you hear the impact on that kick? And then he plants FaZe head first into the mat, into the corner again, clothesline to the back of FaZe, and now Roberto Aldo is saying, I'm taking out the trash, get out of my ring, FaZe. Roberto Aldo not one to back down, obviously wanted to take this challenge, targeting the legs of FaZe once again, whipping him off into the corner for another one, trying to go for the splash this time. However, FaZe ducks out the side. He is going to whip Aldo off himself while Aldo is still stunned, and he's going to hit that leg sweep to put Aldo down to the mat following the rebound from the corner. FaZe trying to go for the back arm chop, however Aldo up to his feet, hit with a short arm clothesline, but focusing on that leg again to get back momentum in his favour. Aldo now has FaZe in some real trouble with the double single-legged drop kick to the side of the face, elbow to the chest. He has got FaZe in trouble. He was the one to answer the call, but he is the one taking control in this match right now. As you can see him hit the taste gone. He can hit that move out of nowhere into the cover, but FaZe manages to roll a shoulder off the mat at the very last second. The taste gone will not be enough to keep him down. FaZe countering back, massive clothesline, goes for the knee to the back, but Aldo manages to scoot down the side and fires off his own huge clothesline. And now Aldo just showing off, stomping on FaZe again, but FaZe back up to his feet, and we're going to see another massive clothesline. Aldo stunned, FaZe going for the sling blade. He puts FaZe down to the mat. Aldo down to the mat, fires him off into the rope and hits that reverse elbow to the chest. Aldo is in trouble here as FaZe hooks him up under that leg and plants him down with the suplex driver. Aldo now trying to go for the headlock, but no, gets tripped and planted face first into the mat. FaZe feeling the effects of this one into the cover. It is only a 1 count though as Aldo manages to kick out. FaZe now up to the top rope. What is he looking for here? He's calling Aldo to his feet. What is he going to go for from the top? Hits that massive Hurricane Rana into the cover, but only a 1 count once again, unbelievably, as he now lines up Aldo for the finish. He is going to go for the hood bomb as he hits it. That should be it, into the cover, and FaZe walks away with the win on his debut here in HCCW. What a tough matchup he had for his first competitor in HCCW. However, he manages to fight back from adversity and hook up his first win in this one. As you can see, early on in this one it was back and forth. FaZe hooking up that submission hold on Aldo, but Aldo would get out and counter with that massive heel strike to the face. Then he would target the legs of FaZe, trying to slow down the momentum, trying to stop him from using that electrifying offense that he uses so often, slowing him down, putting him down to the mat, keeping him down, trying to wear him out, as you would see him aim for the back this time, trying to tap out FaZe, but FaZe would not be kept down so easily, managing to scoot out that one and fire off a massive clothesline to plant Aldo down to the mat, then showing some of that finesse, some of that electricity that the crowd loves so much with the dancing leg drop straight across the neck of Aldo. However, Aldo would manage to get back into this one, firing FaZe off into the corner, and then just the disrespect of brushing the dust off his boots onto FaZe as he dropped the elbow to try and keep FaZe onto the mat, but overconfident somewhat would see Aldo get countered back as he would whip FaZe off into the corner, miss the splash. FaZe would answer with his own whip off into the corner and then a trip to put Aldo down to the mat, but this was only the beginning of the offense from FaZe. Aldo, however, out of nowhere would hit the taste gone, and it looked like FaZe may be about to suffer defeat on his debut. However, at the last second, as the referee's hand was coming down for the 3 count, he would roll a shoulder off of the mat, and then he would hook up a massive suplex driver, putting Aldo down on the mat. He would start to find his offense up to the top rope. He would call Aldo to his feet, showing that he was confident that he was nearing his victory, and he would hit the massive Hurricane Rana into the roll-up off of the top rope. However, Aldo had the wherewithal to kick out at 1, but that would signal the beginning of the end for Roberto Aldo, as we would see FaZe hook up the hood bomb and get his first victory in HCCW.
Here's your winner, FaZe.
It's what you eat, sleep, piss and shit. Pit breed, your whole existence just consists of this. Refuse to quit, fuse is lit, can't defuse the wit. I don't do this music shit, I lose my shit. Ain't got shit to lose, it's the moment, the truth is
Well, after an amazing and unexpected in-ring debut from FaZe in the HCCW Cruiserweight division, we move on to see who will be facing Raizo and Zubatsu at Blood Sacrifice for the belts.
This bout is a tag team #1 contenders match. Introducing first, Buster and Breaker, the Crazy Clown Club.
The Triple C narrowly missed out on being one of the two tag teams to compete for the titles in episode 2. But now they are back and more determined than ever to be the tag team who face the current champions at Blood Sacrifice.
Their opponents, hailing from Palm Beach, Florida, Chris and Jack Brent to Fly.
The fans are split in this one. Both fan favourite tag teams going head to head for the opportunity to face the champions at Blood Sacrifice. Chris and Jack Brent will not let this opportunity slide, ladies and gentlemen. This match is going to be incredible. Well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Brent to Fly against the Triple C. Who will come out on top in this one? Chris Brent starting this one off against Buster. Buster pushing Chris Brent to the ground, and then a face-off top Buster with that explosive offense of his, smashing Chris Brent into the turnbuckle and following it up with that stalling drop kick. Chris Brent back to his feet, running heel kick to put Buster down to the mat. This match should be high intensity, high speed. All of these men involved in this match love to keep the pace up, love to push the pace and keep their opponent working the entire match. As you can see, their Buster starting off incredibly fast here and now pandering to the crowd to let them know that he feels like he's in control. Leg drop to the arm of Chris Brent. Buster is in control of this one right now. Up to the shoulders, Buster dropping Chris Brent across the top rope, and now in control of the leg. He's going to plant it with that leg DDT. However, Chris managing to counter back, putting Buster down to the mat, and now he's going to go and tag in his brother Jack. Jack is going to have a go at Buster. However, Buster following up the same offensive kick to the midsection. Jack managing to counter back. Jack, the older of the two, and in Brent to Fly, going for the step up insecurity, however misses as Buster manages to counter, goes for a drop kick, but Jack counters back with the stomp to the stomach, Now both men to the outside of the ring. Jack gets Buster up on the shoulder, then just drops him face first on to the apron. Jack in full control of Buster right now, draping him across the top rope as he now looks for that slingshot Falcon Arrow, putting Buster down to the mat. Jack Brent has taken control of this one right now. Jack now whipping off Buster into the rope and then just flapjacking him face first down onto the mat. Jack is already looking to wrap this one up, as it looks like he is going to look for the heat wave and land it to the back of the neck of Buster, but he's not done there. He gets him back up, whips him off into the corner, and now looking for a tag to his brother, and they are going to stomp the life out of Buster in this one. Buster in some real trouble now. He is trapped in the corner of Brent to Fly, and they are just putting the boots to his chest. However, we know that Buster can sustain an incredible amount of damage and continue fighting. I would start to be worried if I am Breaker on the other side of the ring. Chris Brent now into the cover. However, Buster manages to get the shoulder up just as his tag team partner came in to release the pressure, but Brent to Fly are fully in control of this match. As I say that, an elbow off in the midsection from Buster on Chris Brent. He now whipped off Chris Brent into the corner as he looks to try and get his partner involved. Chris Brent trying to take out Breaker, however Breaker with the wherewithal to counter back with the insecurity on the outside, tags himself in, but Chris is there first and hits a massive neck breaker onto Breaker. Now trying to follow up the offense onto Buster. However, Buster counters back as an elbow to the face, but a running side kick from Chris Brent puts Buster down as Buster tries to counter back. Chris Brent whipping Buster off into the corner, hitting that monkey flip as he tries to get Buster back over into the Brent to Fly corner. However, Buster is fully back in this match and drops Chris Brent across the top rope. Now Buster managing to take some control here with the elbows to the top of the head of Chris Brent. CCC are back in control in this one, as we're going to see Buster go for that signature dancing combination, dropping Chris down to the mat cover. But Chris Brent managing to get the shoulder off of the mat at the last second. Jack Brent hopping in, but now Breaker looking to hit the break, and he does, planting Chris Brent on the mat into the cover. However, he's too close to the corner of Brent to Fly, and Jack will manage to break up the pin. Breaker now up to the top rope. He is calling for Chris, but Jack Brent is going to get involved with the double kicks to the back, and you can hear the crowd aren't happy with Jack's involvement. However, you have to say he had to save his brother in that situation. Now, Chris Brent off of that distraction, managing to take control of this match once again with the head scissors, putting Breaker down to the mat. Jack Brent on the other side of the ring manages to clear out Buster, and now just scrubbing the face of Breaker on the mat and dropping the elbow to the back of the neck. But Breaker manages to counter back out, tries to control that arm, but Chris Brent fires back, stunning him, and then plants him with a massive DDT. And as you can hear in the crowd, there is now a mixed reaction towards Brent to Fly. They are still fully behind Chris Brent right now. However, some of the antics that Brent to Fly just showed, the crowd were not happy with. But we see the Falcon's arrow there on Breaker, but Breaker now firing back with the swinging neck breaker, putting Chris Brent down on the mat. Chris Brent trying to get over to his corner. Breaker tries to stop him, but he does manage to get his brother Jack in, and you can hear the crowd are not happy with Jack Brent whatsoever. Some cheers, however, a lot of boos as he gets the hot tag. He gets into the ring, stomp to the stomach of Breaker, shot to the chest of Breaker as well. Jack Brent is in control, however the crowd are against him, running European uppercut into the corner. Jack Brent now showing off using the taunts that we see Breaker use so often. However, Breaker now firing back out with a European uppercut of his own, ducks underneath and plants Jack Brent down to the mat as he tags in Buster. Buster is back in this match against Jack Brent, shot to the leg, however Jack fires back, knife edge chop to the chest. Buster though countering back, whipping him off into the corner. Now the flow over into the DDT. Buster planting Jack Brent onto the mat, and then that massive headbutt that we see Buster use so often. usually sets him up for his finishes. However, he's just going to continue the offense on Jack Brent here. Now biting the forehead of Jack Brent and then whipping that rope into the throat. However, Jack Brent manages to counter back here and plants Buster face first into the mat with that DDT and puts him down to the mat once again. Chris Brent now tagged in. He's going to continue the offense on Buster here, going for that back chop. However, countered back. Chris Brent put onto the apron. Buster goes for a big shot. However, it's countered back by Chris Brent as he hooks up Buster, sends him into the corner, trying to go for those double knees. However, Buster scoots out the side, whipping off Chris into the corner, and now he's going to follow this up with some tag team offense with his partner. They put Chris Brent up to the top. What is the Triple C looking for here? A massive avalanche backdrop suplex, planting Chris Brent onto the floor. Chris trying to get some offense off from Buster, gets countered, however, then does manage to hit that huge flatliner on Breaker. Breaker whipped off into the ropes by Brent to fly now. Arm dragged over and then a combination kick on each side of him, and then you can hear the crowd still fully against Jack Brent. However, the Triple C now going to get some offense in with a drop kick from Buster. Buster now gets countered back by Jack Brent and then hit with a huge side suplex. However, back to his feet. Huge running forearm to the face of Jack Brent puts him down to the mat, slows his momentum. Buster now with that standing splash on Jack Brent. He is in control of Jack Brent right now, and another headbutt to the face of Jack Brent puts him down to the mat. He might even be out. However, Buster in that corner is looking for the Buster driver. However, it's countered back by Jack Brent, who then whips off Buster into the corner over to his brother Chris. However, Buster counters back, tries to go for offense himself, but Jack counters that as well. And now we're going to see the heat wave from Jack Brent, puts Buster down to the mat. He goes in for the cover. Breaker getting in on the far side, as you can see, and he does manage to break up the pin. Now managing to counter back into a DDT on Chris Brent, and then an inverted DDT by Jack Brent. Sees Breaker rolling out. Jack Brent now in full control, hitting that cutter on to Buster. Buster in trouble here. Jack Brent going up to the top rope. Could he be looking for the Cypher Splash? No, he goes for the Frog Splash, but Breaker manages to roll out in time. However, Jack Brent, not to be kept down, sweeps the legs of Buster and then hits the Poison Rana, planting Buster on the crown of his head. However, look at Buster trying to crawl over to his corner but can't do it. Now Jack Brent in the corner. He's going to look for that Pele kick once again, as we see the handstand into the Pele, but Buster manages to counter out of it. He's now going to hook Jack Brent up for that wheelbarrow powerbomb. Sees Jack Brent plant the face first, however somehow Jack Brent straight back to his feet again, manages to sweep Buster down to the mat, and we're going to see the tags from the retrospective tag team members. Massive clothesline from Breaker, another massive clothesline from Breaker. However, Chris Brent now managing to counter back. However, there's another counter back. This is a fast and furious match as we see the clothesline into the Bulldog from Breaker, and now we're going to see him hit that dancing combination once again to put Chris Brent down to the mat, but Jack Brent manages to tag in, but it's not going to be enough as Breaker is on a roll, and now he is going to give Jack Brent the receipt for what he did to Buster earlier. Him and Chris earlier, you saw them do this exact move on Buster, and now Breaker and Buster getting revenge. Exactly the same move, whipping him off into the drop kick. Buster now tagged in, is gonna go for the cover here. Could this be the end? But it's not, as you see Chris Brent uses the underhand tactic of going after the referee to break up the count. Breaker hits him with an inverted DDT, as we can see Buster lining up for the Buster driver, and he hits it. He got all of it, and now he's going up into that corner as he looks for the diving headbutt into the cover. A shout out to Bo right there, and the Triple C will be going to blood sacrifice to face Raizu and Zubatsu. But like I said, what an incredible match from these four men. Brent to Fly and the Triple C putting in one hell of a match here. As you can see how back and forth it was. Jack Brent here taking control of Buster, dropping him face first across that apron, and then he would hit the springboard Falcon Arrow, should I say slingshot Falcon Arrow, on Buster. He was in full control of Buster in this one early on. Flapjack face first onto the mat goes Buster as he would look for the handstand Pele kick, and he would hit the first one here, catching Buster on the back of the head. However, that would not be enough. I thought he should have personally gone for the cover there, try and wrap this match up. However, you would see them then trap Buster in their corner. Jack and Chris Brent tagging in and out of the match just to inflict punishment on Buster in the corner. You could see Buster was without help. He couldn't get across to Breaker. They had him pinned in the corner and they stomped the life out of him. However, it would not be enough to walk away with the victory in this one, as Buster still had enough in him to kick out, even though Breaker was on his way for the save. Buster then would get the tag to his partner Breaker. Breaker coming in, showing great offense, hitting that dancing elbow on Chris Brent, almost getting the 3. However, last minute kick out. We would then see Breaker line up the break, and not only line it up, but hit the break onto Chris Brent, putting him down to the mat, into the cover. It looked like it could be it. However, Jack Brent would manage to get across because Breaker did not get Chris Brent far enough away from that corner. And then here we would see Breaker look for top rope offense. However, Jack Brent would be there to interrupt, and that is where you saw the crowd really turn against Jack Brent. They did not like the action. However, I can understand it. From Jack Brent's perspective, his brother was about to be hit with a high impact move. He was not willing to lay there and let his brother be hit with that move. However, the back and forth action would continue between Chris Brent and Breaker. He would manage to get the tag to Jack Brent, and then Jack would start to roll. However, the crowd was firmly against Jack in this one as he tagged in to fight against Breaker. However, Buster then getting the tag in from his partner to have his second round against Jack Brent, biting the forehead of Jack there. Jack would tag out, get Chris into the match, but Buster would take control, and we would see some tag team offense, an avalanche back suplex from 2 men on Chris Brent. It was incredible. Chris Brent getting dropped down to the mat from the top rope, but then the tag team offense would continue as Brent to Fly would then go and have their own. The arm drag over into the double kick, compacting the chest of Breaker in between the feet, but that would not be the end of the tag team offense. Breaker on Jack Brent, the drop down drop kick, Buster hitting the high angle drop kick. He would then look to hit the Buster driver on Jack Brent. However, Jack had this one scouted, the knee to the midsection to create the separation. He would whip Buster off into the corner, look for the tag. However, it would not be there for him as Buster would fight out of the corner, but then the heat wave out of nowhere, dropping Buster down to the mat, going for the cover. However, Breaker managing to sprint across the ring just quick enough to get in to break that one up. Breaker would then plant Chris Brent, getting him out of the ring, but he would get caught by Jack Brent with the inverted DDT and drop himself. Jack Brent would then look for the cutter on to Buster and hit it. He would get some great offense in. The Poison Rana planting Buster on the crown of his head. Buster would try to crawl to his corner to desperately try and get Breakker back in the match. However, it would be the turning point here. Jack Brent looking for that handspring Pele kick once again, but Buster managed to slip round the outside, then hit the wheelbarrow powerbomb, planting Jack Brent face first onto the floor, but Jack would not stay down. The trip from Jack Brent, however, as he went for the tag to his brother Chris, Breakker would get tagged back in, and then a little bit of a dose of their own medicine as Breakker would go on a roll, managing to trap Jack Brent into the Triple C's corner, and they would return the stomps earlier delivered to Buster to Jack Brent, and then follow it up with that drop kick at the end, and Buster would go for the cover. However, that one would not be enough, as we would see the underhanded tactics, the willingness to do whatever it takes to win once again from Brent to Fly, as Chris Brent would elbow the referee in the back of the head to stop him from counting the 3. But Buster would not be deterred. Buster would line up the absolutely devastating Buster Driver, but he wouldn't leave it there. He would climb to the top rope, and a shout out to Bell, the other part of the Triple C. The split personality diving headbutt from the top rope would prove to be enough for the Triple C to take the win.
Here are your winners and number 1 contenders to the HCCW World Tag Team Championships, the Crazy Clown Club.
Blood sacrifice is beginning to take shape, but now we find out the last 2 men to join the semi-finals of the HCCW World Heavyweight Championship tournament.
Scheduled for 1 fall and is the quarterfinals of the HCCW World Heavyweight Championship tournament. Introducing first, hailing from Venice Beach, California, Golden Standard, Jay Golden.
Jay Golden put on an absolute masterclass against Tiny in the main event of our last episode, showing off great technical ability as well as wherewithal to take advantage of his opponent's weaknesses and weak moments. Jay Golden will look to make it into the semi-finals here tonight.
His opponent, hailing from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Shane Vector.
Shane Vector proved a lot of people wrong in his matchup against D-Wolf. He proved that he has technical attributes to his game and that he is not just a brawler. However, he has a much tougher test in the form of Jay Golden in this one, as he looks to advance and stake his claim to be the first heavyweight champion. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, quarterfinals time. Jay Golden, Shane Vector. This one should bring the house down. And Jay Golden starting off quickly with a massive clothesline to the chest of Shane Vector. However, Shane now hooking him up, trying to look for that flatliner. However, it's countered back into a huge dragon suplex from Jay Golden. What a start for the Golden Standard. Now using that amateur wrestling background just to take control and wear out Shane Vector. This is what Jay Golden is going to need to do to take the W in this match, is stay on Shane Vector. Don't let him build up that momentum that he loves to use. Now, Jay Golden firing off shots into the chin of Shane Vector, but you don't want to get into a striking matchup with the brawler, as you see there with the massive clothesline to put him down, and now the head slam, the patented head slam, the signature head slam from Shane Vector. He's going to triple it up. That is 9 head slams for Jay Golden right there, and I'm sure his ears are ringing right now. However, he does manage to get that arm wrench shoulder block to get back in control, following it up with a massive splash to the chest of Shane Vector. Now Shane rolling him up, but only a 1 count. Shane Vector playing a little bit of possum right there. Shane now firing off Jay into the corner, hitting that forearm. However, it looks like that may have affected the forearm of Shane Vector, as he then goes for a shot to the back, but Jay Golden fires back with the one-legged drop kick to the mouth. Shane up against the rope, just getting put out to the outside of the ring, and Jay Golden now saying, "Come on son, get back in my ring, I'm not done with you yet." However, a shot to the stomach from Shane now manages to hook up Jay for that arm trap trip into the cover. Only a 1. Shane Vector, you can tell, wants to get this one done early, but now once again willing to show that he does have a technical side to his game, just like he did against D Wolf with the headlock on the mat on Jay Golden. Jay Golden does have that amateur wrestling background. However, Shane Vector wants to show that he can hang with the best, but a massive clothesline from Jay Golden is answered by a dragon screw from Shane Vector, as he picks up Shane here and hit the spine buster. That is usually the call to find the open road, but a 2 count off the spine buster. Are we going to see Shane Vector try and go for the open road? No. Jay Golden firing back, whipping off Shane's corner, but it's a back elbow to stun Jay. However, now Jay manages to get the kick to the stomach, float round and plant Shane, and then just dump him to the outside again. However, this time Jay Golden goes outside to follow up the offense. Shane trying to fight back, however not to be, but this time he does manage to fight back. Elbow to the knee. However, as Shane tries to follow up his offense, he gets hit with a huge arm drag on the outside, and now Jay Golden showing that he can strike with the best of them, firing shots off into the face of Shane, but Shane says enough of this, get back into the ring, you are not getting counted out here. Shane now dropping down and hitting the belly to belly suplex, but Jay manages to counter back, tripping the legs of Shane Vector from underneath him. He hits the rope and hits that splash once again, trying to slow down, but once again Shane Vector goes for the roll up afterwards. Jay Golden is getting caught off guard in this one. Now Shane Vector with the stomp to the face and hitting that spinning elbow drop to the chest. Shane Vector in control here, whipping off Jay Golden into the corner, following up with the clothesline and the bulldog. Shane Vector not stopping his offense, trying to go for that forearm again. However, Jay Golden manages to drop round the side, shot to the stomach, and then that single-legged drop kick to the face again. And now Jay Golden going back to his roots, going back to that wrestling background to try and wear out Shane Vector, but Shane is not going to be kept down. The arm wrench puts him face first onto the mat. Jay Golden now back into the ring, grabbing the arm of Shane Vector. What has he got in mind here? Stomp to the side, and once again going to that amateur wrestling background. Jay Golden really falling back to his old ways, trying to stop Shane's offense. Shane manages to roll out of the ring. Jay is going to pursue him to the outside. Now both men fighting on the outside of the ring. Shane knocked into the crowd. Jay is going to follow him, trying to go for the shot to the face, but it's a forearm from Shane, sends Jay back over the railing. Shane now follows Jay back over, but these men are not paying attention to the fact but we are at a 6 count. Jay Golden showing off on the outside. However, he's not willing to go back in. He wants to continue the punishment of Shane. They get back in now, and now Jay Golden showing the striking offense that he has. Shots to the head as Shane gets fires Jay off, but Jay counters with the knee to the face, and now going for that cross armbar, trying to tap out Shane Vector. I think it's going to be a hard job to do it, and you do see here Shane Vector with 2 clean shots unprotected to the side of the face of Jay Golden, whipping Jay off into the ropes, going for that back elbow. However, he then hits the toss over the shoulder. Shane Vector now going to his striking offense, a stomp to the chest of Jay Golden just to keep him on the mat. Now he's going to go for that elbow drop once again to the chest, really focusing on the lung of Jay Golden as he goes for those head slams to the mat. Once again, hooking up the bulldog, planting Jay Golden face first into the mat. Shane Vector is in control, wrenching on the neck now. He is trying to get as much offense in as he can on Jay Golden as quick as he can as he goes for the cover. Only a 1 count though. Jay Golden powering out of that one, but Shane not done. Massive shot to the face of Jay Golden as he picks him up. However, Jay Golden manages to counter back, planting that head into the chin, and now Jay Golden firing off furious shots into the face of Shane Vector. Now, what has he got here? He's going for another submission. He is really trying to wear down the stamina of Shane Vector. Shane in trouble here, but managing to scoot out of the side of that one. Jay goes for a shot, however it's blocked, and now Shane Vector using that striking offense, and you can see that he is feeling it. He is rolling here, following up more strikes to the side of the face of Jay Golden. Jay is in trouble in this one, and the head slams once again. Shane Vector loves using those head slams, loves just slamming his opponent into the mat and then dropping Jay Golden over his shoulder once again. Shane Vector is in control, and he's going to hit that spine buster once again, rolling Jay Golden into the middle of the ring as he stomps on the chest and then stomps him as he tries to get up. Shane Vector is in a furious mood right now, and he is rolling here, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to hit another spine buster, the third of this match. What is he going to do now? It looks like he's going to go for the cover. However, it's only a 2 as Jay manages to roll the shoulder off the mat at the last minute. Shane Vector now firing off those shots into the face of Jay Golden. Jay is ill at sea. He is in trouble. He gets hit with that suplex off of the rebound. Going for the shot to the stomach is Shane, but Jay manages to fire back with the clothesline and then the knee to the face of Shane, and now firing back with his own stomp to the chest of Vector. Jay is now trying to get his revenge. Those fist drops straight on the bridge of the nose of Shane Vector. Jay Golden in control. Shane fires back with a massive strike to the side of the head, but Jay fires back with the shot to the stomach, clothesline to put Shane down to the mat, but not even a 1 count as he goes for the cover. Shane now though, snapmare on Jay Golden, going for the elbow to the top of the head, and it lands flush, then dropping Jay Golden down with the inverted drop to the mat. Jay is in trouble as he crawls over to the ropes, just trying to use them to even stand up here. Jay Golden is rocked. Shane Vector now getting Jay to the top, shot to the side of the face. Oh my god, no, he's going to look for the suplex to the outside, and he is going to hit it. Oh my god, both men getting dumped onto the outside. However, Shane is not going to stop there as he hits the driver onto Jay Golden. Snapshots to the face, furious strikes from Vector. He is fired up, ladies and gentlemen. He fires off Jay Golden into the corner, and he is going to land that clothesline into the bulldog once again. Jay Golden is in all kinds of trouble. Shane Vector just throwing haymakers to the back of Jay Golden, but Jay does manage to finally fire back and get some offense with another single-legged drop kick to the side of the face. Now the arm wrench shoulder block, and now Jay is trying to fire himself up. He is trying to get going in this match. Jay in control of Shane and showing that disrespect once again, just dumping Shane out of the ring. However, Shane fires back with a shot to the jaw as he turned. Jay Golden is there and he snapmares him across the top rope. Shane is in trouble. Jay Golden hooking up. The Golden fires out of nowhere and hitting it. This match could be over. Into the cover. What the hell? The Golden fires from Jay Golden. They are kicked out of by Shane Vector. That is absolutely unbelievable. I can't believe I've just seen someone kick out of the Golden Fires, but Jay Golden is not letting up, firing shots into the face of Shane Vector while he was on the mat. Now standing back up, fires more shots to the face. The knee breaker to the face of Shane Vector. He is in trouble as he gets followed up with a massive German suplex getting planted on his neck. And now Jay Golden looking for that knee clothesline combination and hitting it. Shane Vector is in all kinds of trouble. Jay Golden setting him up. However, Shane out of nowhere fires back a shot into the abdomen of Jay Golden, and then, oh my god, Shane Vector out of absolutely nowhere hooks up the open road and plants Jay Golden down to the mat into the cover. And Shane Vector out of absolutely nowhere, looking like he was out on his feet, somehow walks away with the win in this match and will advance to the semi-finals at Blood Sacrifice. Jay Golden was in full control of the match at the end there, having hit the Golden Fire. Shane Vector somehow manages to get his shoulder off the mat and then out of absolute nowhere counters back and hits the open road on to Jay Golden for the win. However, we should talk through these highlights that we are seeing right now. As you can see, this match was incredibly back and forth. Shane Vector using roll-ups to his advantage because Jay Golden somewhat overconfident at points. However, I can't believe what I've just seen, ladies and gentlemen. I'm absolutely speechless following this match. It was an incredible match between these two guys. I definitely, at some point in the future, want to see these men run it back. What a match between the two of them. However, you would see Jay Golden in this one have to reach deep into his amateur wrestling background, into his amateur wrestling bag, because he tried to strike with Shane Vector early on. However, he was quickly shown that that is no easy feat. As you can see, both men out into the crowd here. One shot from Shane Vector, the brawler, was enough to put Jay Golden back over that guardrail. However, Jay would not let that deter him. He would manage to put Shane Vector down. The fatigue that Shane Vector was already feeling, enough to let Jay Golden take advantage. Shane, though, always fighting back with all the heart in the world. A massive shot here. Jay Golden would manage to counter back, and then he would hit some furious strikes of his own to the face of Shane Vector. But Shane Vector is never one to be held down, and he definitely will not be outstruck by any opponent. Following this submission attempt here from Jay Golden, trying to wear him down, you would see Shane Vector hit his back elbow, and then this was really a turning point. The furious strikes on the ground from Shane Vector to the face of Jay Golden. He would get fired up and he would start using that striking offense that he is so good with, and he would just start brutalizing Jay Golden all around the ring. As you can see here, he would hit what was the second of two spine busters after some massive strikes and go for the cover. It looked to be it, but Jay Golden at the last minute does manage to roll a shoulder off of the mat, and then Shane Vector not willing to give up on his offense. You would see him here just staring down his prey as Jay Golden was out on his feet, struggling back up into that corner. Shane Vector would not let that stop him from inflicting even more punishment on his opponent, as he would get Jay Golden up to the top rope and hit a suplex all the way down to the ground. An absolutely brutal move, but the smartness of Jay Golden to play possum for long enough that Shane Vector gets hit with that snapmare across the top rope, and then out of nowhere, Jay Golden hooks up the Golden Fires, drops Shane Vector down on that neck, and it looked like Jay Golden had stolen a match from Shane Vector. However, as the referee's hand was about to hit the mat, Shane Vector rolls the shoulder off, manages to kick out, and I think this was the downfall really of Jay Golden. He started pandering, he started taunting the crowd, he would follow up with more offense, massive strikes. He would try and prove once again that he has got the same striking ability as Shane Vector. However, it would not prove to be the truth, even after a massive German suplex dumping Shane Vector onto his head and then following it up with the knee into the clothesline combination. That would not even be enough to hold down Shane. As you would see here, Jay not going for the cover, looking for more offense, but a massive strike to the ribs from Shane Vector will be enough to stun Jay Golden for long enough for him to hook up the open road and win the match.
Here's your winner and advancing to the semi-finals, Shane Vector.
Three spots have been booked to Blood Sacrifice. Now we look to find out who will be the last competitor to join the crowd as we head towards Blood Sacrifice and we see the landscape shift.
This bout scheduled for 1-4 is the final quarter-final match of the HCCW World Heavyweight Championship tournament and is your main event of the evening. Introducing first, hailing from Hollywood, California, he is the superstar, Pete Miller.
The next superstar had an amazing performance against Pyro. He really booked himself and put himself in as a top talent here in HCCW. However, this next matchup against one of the originals of HCCW is going to be no easy feat even for him.
opponent, hailing from Harlem, New York, Luther Rose.
Luther Rose is one of the originals of HCCW. He is a former HCCW World Heavyweight Champion with every part of his fibre wanting to reclaim the title that was once his. I have been excited about this one all week since these two men got drawn against each other. This is going to be one hell of a match. Pete Miller versus Luther Rose. Here we go. And Pete Miller looks like he's not dealing with the pressure on him early on, and Luther Rose takes advantage, firing off some shots into the forehead, trying to follow up with a big shot. However, Pete Miller manages to hit a kick to the stomach, and then follow up with a suplex. A massive suplex, might I add, and following that up with another bulldog suplex. Pete Miller now seems to have his head firmly locked in on Luther Rose, whipping him off into the corner and hitting the clothesline to the back, and then a kick to the chest of Luther Rose. Pete Miller is in control early on, dropping Luther Rose to the mat once again. A lot of offense focused on the midsection of Luther Rose now. However, the backdrop from Luther Rose trying to get some offense of his own going in this match, whipping off Pete Miller into the corner, trying to go for that back splash, but he misses. Another 2 count for the young man on the vet. He can't believe that Luther Rose managed to even get out of this one. But now Pete Miller stomped the arm and he is going to hook up the big thing. This is a submission that he loves to use. It's so punishing on the arms and neck and chest of his opponent. And now he's looking to tap out Luther Rose. Luther in trouble here. However, Pete Miller decides, no, I'm not having you tap out just yet. I want to continue inflicting more damage on you. As you can see, Pete Miller just taking stock of his work here into the cover again. Another 2 count on the vet. It looks like Pete Miller wants the pinfall victory over Luther Rose in this one. He is not letting him tap out. And now Pete Miller again is going to go for, looks like those multiple suplexes once again. He hits 2. Luther Rose is in real trouble right now. The 3rd one lands. Luther Rose into the cover again from Pete Miller. But once again the vet is hanging on, but I have to say I don't know how wise this is from Luther Rose to keep letting himself take this level of punishment. Pete Miller is fully in control now, targeting the legs of Luther Rose, trying to take away that power. However, Luther manages to power out, but Pete Miller is going to hook him up once again and plant him with another side slam. Luther Rose is in trouble, manages to get back to his feet, and he has dropped the young man with a massive shot to the jaw. However, Pete Miller, not one to be kept down so easily, is going to hook up the Starstruck out of absolutely nowhere into the cover. And unbelievably, Luther Rose manages to get his shoulder off the mat once again. The Starstruck was hit from Pete Miller. Now Luther Rose with the backdrop, and now going into the corner. It looks like he may be trying to line up for that spike. Talk about out of nowhere. We saw the Starstruck out of nowhere. Now we see the spike out of nowhere into the cover. Luther Rose into a desperation cover off the spike. However, he is not enough to keep down Pete Miller. Pete Miller is still alive in this one. However, Luther Rose seems to have found that other level that veterans have, and he is rolling. As I say that though, Pete Miller manages to get that rebound backbreaker across the knee, but as Pete Miller is showing off here, Luther Rose comes back in with 2 massive clotheslines, hit the ropes, and then that flying clothesline to the neck of Pete Miller. Now hitting that rewind gut wrench suplex on Pete Miller. Luther Rose is fully back into this match. Now targeting the arms of the young man, trying to take away that power game that Pete Miller has. Knee to the back. Luther Rose has taken control. He's used those veteran instincts well, and now he's going to line up for another spike. Pete Miller is in trouble. If he gets hit with another one, I'm not sure he can kick out. However, he manages to leapfrog over Luther Rose as Luther was going for it, and then hooks him up for that deadlift suplex with the kip up just for a little bit of extra flair. However, Luther Rose firing back, massive shot to the stomach of Pete Miller, now gets him up and drops him across his knee for his own backbreaker. Another cover. You do have to say though, these covers from Luther Rose do seem like a little bit of desperation now as he gets countered back with the Samoan drop. Now, what is Pete Miller looking for here? A stomp to the abdomen of Luther Rose. That damaged midsection of Luther Rose, taking so much punishment in this match so far. Now going for that headbutt. However, Luther Rose manages to counter back with the elbow to the top of the head. Now, massive shot to the side of the face, drops the young man down to the mat once again, and you can see Luther Rose basking in the cheers from the crowd. However, was that a mistake? He tries to get Pete Miller up to his shoulder. However, Pete fires it off, and then he's going to hit a massive spine buster to put Luther back down to the mat. Maybe it was a mistake pandering to the crowd, and now this is a move that Luther Rose himself loves to use. Pete Miller hooking up the camel clutch, trying to just wrench on the back, now looking for that submission. However, out the back, Luther Rose manages to escape. Now in control of Pete Miller, up to the shoulders. Wait, is this what I think it is? It is. It's going to be the Rose Storm. He hits it into the cover. But Pete Miller out of absolutely nowhere, following the Rose Storm from Luther Rose, manages to kick out. Luther Rose once again showing off to the crowd. However, Pete Miller gets back to his feet and hits a quick running STO, but Luther Rose is not going to be kept down. Luther has found his second wind, hits that suplex toss, going for the big shot. Once again, that seems to be a vulnerability of Pete Miller. Pete Miller tries to go for a big boot, but it's countered back. The shot just narrowly misses. Up from Pete Miller, drops him across the knee with the backbreaker. But look at this strength from Luther Rose, managing to fire back out, going for the clothesline, went for the kick, however it's a dragon screw now from Pete Miller. What a back and forth exchange we have right here. Boot to the side of the face of Luther Rose. Pete Miller going for a big shot of his own, gets counter back, and the knee to the midsection. Luther Rose with the shoulder tackle, now going for that running senton onto Pete Miller. What a match this has been between these two men so far. Fired off into the corner, rebounds. Luther Rose gets Pete Miller up, trying to go for that military press slam. However, Pete Miller gets the shot to the top of the head, scoots behind for the gut wrench slam. Pete Miller now showing his own military press slam down to the mat. What impressive strength from the young man as he now looks to hook up what might be a jackhammer, and it is a jackhammer. He's feeling confident, but look at Luther Rose, completely unfazed. Shot to the side of the face of Pete Miller, puts him in the corner. Pete is stunned in the corner. 3 shots to the back, another shot to the face. Luther Rose picking up Pete Miller, just dropping him across the top rope. Luther Rose has Pete Miller onto the shoulders, presses him up and drops him behind. Luther Rose is rolling once again in this match. I cannot believe how quickly he managed just to get up off the mat following all of that punishment. But his second win is well and truly locked in as he slowly picks up Pete Miller and hits that discus right hook. Now he is looking for the finish. He is looking for the Rose Storm, and he has gotten onto the shoulders and plants Pete Miller down. This is it. What the hell, man? I was just about ready to say Luther Rose will advance to the semi-finals, but Pete Miller will not lie down. Now, the camel clutch that we saw Pete Miller use himself earlier, Luther Rose loves using that move so much. Locks it in on Pete Miller, but like Pete Miller did earlier with the big thing, says no, you don't get out that easily. Pandering to the crowd, and then a massive backbreaker across the knee for Pete Miller. Shoulder claw from Luther Rose, just squeezing on the shoulder and the trap of Pete Miller, trying to slow down that arm movement, trying to stop the rotation in the shoulder joint. Shot to the face. Luther Rose gets Pete Miller up and hits him with a massive fall away slam. The vet is in control, however you can see there as he stumbled, he is in an incredible amount of pain himself. Now focusing his attack on the arms of Pete Miller. Pete manages to roll outside the ring, tries to go for a grapple, however he is fired off into the rope, into that massive big boot from Luther Rose. Cover, but only a 2 count. Luther Rose really looking to try and end this one as quick as he can. Tries to go for the clothesline, but is eaten by Pete Miller. Pete Miller up onto the shoulders, plants him with the running power slam once again. But as I said before, Luther Rose seems to have hit his stride in this match, and as Pete Miller tries to follow up his offense, gets put down with the shoulder block, but the vet is starting to struggle. His gas tank is running low. How low is the young man's gas tank? Well, we don't know right now. However, Pete Miller tries to fire off. Luther Rose into the corner, gets hit with a back elbow to the jaw, and then a shoulder block to put him down to the mat as Luther Rose looks to hook up that camel clutch once again, just punishing the back and spine of Pete Miller. However, Miller managing to scoot out the side of this one. Now in control of Luther Rose, just dumping him to the outside. Miller needs some breathing space that he gets. Now in control of the head of Luther Rose, locking in that chin lock on the vet, trying to slow down his momentum that he has been building up. This has been one hell of a match so far. What a great main event from these two men. Pete Miller, I have to say, is proven he deserves to be a main event star as he mocks Luther Rose using that his own patented discus hook to the side of the face. Now Pete Miller signaling for the end of this match, focusing on the legs, trying to slow down the momentum of Luther Rose. But as Pete Miller tries to get him up, Luther Rose fires back with the scoop slam. Now what is Luther looking for here? He is going to take control with his own chin lock on Pete Miller to try and slow down the young man. Both these men gasping for breath. Both these men have given their all to this match right now. However, they are not going to stop. One of them is going to go to the semi-finals and one of them is going to be in with a chance of becoming HCCW World Champion. As Luther Rose trying to follow up his offense, gets a kick to the knee and then a massive big boot to the face. Pete Miller taking back control of this one, back and forth at the moment as Pete Miller pulls in Luther Rose for another spine buster, and that could be enough to keep the vet down. We've seen how much he's been struggling with the amount of damage he's been taking into the cover. I have to say, I think it was ill-advised there for Pete Miller to take time to taunt before he went into the cover, and now Luther Rose firing back with a huge clothesline. But as I say that, the veteran taunting in the face of the young man. Pete Miller trying to go for a clothesline there, but gets backdropped by Luther Rose, who then hits that running senton onto Pete Miller. Pete back to his feet. However, Luther Rose now knows his trick and he's going to fire him off in the corner. Then he's going to fire him off into that ring post. Pete Miller in all kinds of trouble right now. He is struggling to get back to his feet in this one against Luther Rose. Luther beating him down into the cover. However, the young man manages to kick out at 2 once again. But Luther, you're in full control of this match. You have to continue your offense. And as I say that, he is looking to hit the third Rose Thorn of this match. He has him on the shoulders and plants him into the cover. And it is going to be enough this time. Luther Rose will be the last man going into the semi-finals at Blood Sacrifice. What a match between these two men, worthy of a main event spot. And I have to say, even though Pete Miller did come up short in this one, this kid has one hell of a future here as a main eventer in HCCW. He hung in there with one of the greatest to ever do it. However, it would not be enough at the end. Luther Rose would come out with the victory. Pete Miller at the beginning of this one was matching Luther Rose stride for stride. As you can see, reversals back and forth here. However, Luther Rose would try and take control, whipping off Pete Miller into that corner, would miss the back splash, and then Pete Miller picking him up for the side slam. Great power shown by Pete Miller just to muscle up Luther Rose into the side slam, but Luther wouldn't stay down, hitting that giant clothesline onto Pete Miller to put him down to the mat. Then arm dragging him over, hitting some shots to the side of the face. He would drag Pete Miller over to the other side of the ring, but Pete with the wherewithal to stop him before he could get any offense in, hitting that already damaged midsection of Luther Rose. He would hook him up onto the shoulder and just drop him shoulder first onto the knee. An absolutely disgusting landing for Luther Rose. And then Pete Miller would follow up with one of many spine busters that we would see in this match. He would go for the cover. However, Luther Rose would still have enough in the tank to muscle a shoulder off the mat. Pete Miller would begin to take control of the match completely. Luther Rose still trying to fight back. However, Pete Miller overpowering him early on in this one and showing some incredible agility. This tope suicida over the top rope, on down to the floor, onto Luther Rose. And we would see here Pete Miller taking full control, muscling up. Luther Rose hitting that high cross, just dumping Rose onto the mat, following it up with an elbow, relentless pressure into the cover. But once again, Luther Rose showing all kinds of heart and resilience, not letting the young man beat him so easily. but Pete Miller would keep grinding. He would keep going. A bullplex right here, sending Luther Rose out of the ring. Pete Miller would start to taunt, and you can see here Pete Miller getting Luther Rose up onto the shoulder for the running power slam, and then continuing the damage to the back of Luther Rose. Double forearms to the back. His midsection and back were in absolute pieces. The referee would go over to check if Luther Rose could even continue. However, Luther, not one to quit, would say yes and continue this match, but he would be met with 3 absolutely huge suplexes from Pete Miller, just destroying Luther Rose's neck and back. Pete Miller absolutely relentless in this one, going for the cover. It looked like Luther had nothing left, but the heart once again shining through. Shoulder off the mat from Luther Rose. Pete Miller would then lock up the big thing, the submission that he loved to use, just trying to wrench the life out of his opponent. But then an interesting choice with hindsight, deciding to let go of the hold so that he could continue the punishment on the midsection and the arms of Luther Rose. As you can see him here just inspecting his work, just being proud of himself, trying to go for that pinfall. It seemed like Pete Miller really had his heart set on a pinfall victory over Luther Rose, and he did not want it any other way. But Luther Rose would manage to find his second win here. He would hit the backdrop, and it was enough to stun Pete Miller, enough for him to then follow it up with the spike, go into the cover, and it looked like he may have caught Pete Miller unawares. However, at the last second, Pete Miller rolling his shoulder off of the mat. Luther Rose could not get the win done right there. However, it would start to spell the return of Luther Rose. It would start to spell the turnaround. Pete Miller, though, trying to stop any momentum that Luther Rose had, would continue to punish that midsection of the vet. All the damage that those ribs took. I can't believe that by the end of this match, Luther Rose was even standing. Pete Miller going for the headbutt here would get met with an elbow. Luther Rose then smacking, that's the only way to describe it, smacking the taste out of the mouth of Pete Miller, putting him down to the mat with an absolutely enormous shot. He would try and hook something up, however Pete Miller with the wherewithal to plant that knee straight into the ribcage of Luther Rose and follow it up with the spine buster once again, and then mock Luther Rose by using one of his favourite moves against him, hooking up the camel clutch. It now looked like Pete Miller was willing to take the submission if it was something that Luther Rose himself loved using. Pete Miller would find himself on the end following that of a rose thorn from absolutely nowhere, and it looked to be over once again. However, Pete Miller managing to surprise Luther Rose with his own resilience, getting his shoulders off the mat, kicking out defiantly from the rose thorn. But Pete Miller was not done there. He would manage to hook up the vet for a massive jackhammer, compressing those ribs, but Luther Rose pops up off the mat, getting his maybe 15th win by this point, and just then furious strikes to the face of Pete Miller, to the sides of Pete Miller, dropping him across that top rope. Luther Rose would then look for the third and final rose thorn as he would get Pete Miller up onto his shoulders and plant him down to the mat, and it would prove to be enough.
Here is your winner, and advancing to the semi-finals is the HCCW World Heavyweight Championship Tournament, Luther Rose.